Hey, it's Adina Johnson. I wanted to come with you guys with another video. I'm actually at work, and you guys know I teach the divorce class for the state and in our town. And it's so important. I see a lot of divorce, and it's so important to, when I teach, I talk about the children and how it is for the children. And it's so hard for us many times as parents to remove our personal from the situation and just do what's in the best interest of our children. And that's hard. But also, it's like recently I had a couple to come to me, and after 27 years of marriage, they have split up. And so it just grieves me. It hurts my heart to see when families can't work it out and they can't remain close. But divorce is a part of it too. Divorce has to happen sometimes, and that's understandable as well. It just hurts when I see couples that can't work it out, which is, some of why Nick and I do what we do in supporting couples, because it's so important that children get an opportunity to come from both parents. And all the negative and the back and forth, it's just not healthy for kids at all. And so that's why we do what we do. I mean, of course, divorce is necessary sometimes. But if couples can stay together, that's where Nick and I, that's where our passion is. And that's why, we have our YouTube channel, so we can support couples in being together and being happy. Because I don't believe in being miserable for one day. I just don't. When Nick and I, if we have a disagreement, we are both it's hard on us. When we have a disagreement, and it's a struggle. And of course, we're going to disagree with each other. I mean, heck, I disagree with myself. So of course I'm going to disagree with another person. I'm going to disagree with him. And so what we've done is we just work it out to where when we do have a disagreement, we resolve it. We talk about it. We work it out. We make sure that we discuss it with each other and work past it. And that's so important for us, and it's healthier for us to do that. And so we really want other couples to be in a healthy space. We want other couples to know how to fight fair. We want other couples to know how to just work it out. And because the divorce rate goes up. If you divorce, the divorce rate for the first time marriage is 50%. Second time marriages is 65%. Third time marriages is 75%. So the divorce rate goes up with the more marriages individuals have. And so it's really better to work it out with the person that you're with. You fell in love for a reason, and I think it's so important to understand and to work out any differences and disagreements, and to, find out, get back to why you fell in love, get back to being happy with each other, get back to loving each other. And, some of the tools that Nick and I provide hopefully will help couples do that. I've seen some crazy stuff teaching the divorce class for the last 11 years. Oh my gosh, I've seen couples that come together and sit there and talk the full 4 hours, and I have to tell them, okay, let's cut it out. Let's, listen, because everybody's not in their situation. And so I've had couples, I'm like, well, what do you do when you date someone else? Well, it hasn't happened yet. We really haven't had anybody else. Yeah, but when it does, then you need to have documentation in place. And it's so important that you have the documentation in place to support you when there are other people involved. Because the agreement, the pillow talk and the side agreements that we've made prior to, people seem to forget those things when there's another person involved, when you're dating someone else. I've had couples to come through, and the one lady, she was just in love with the guy. You could just look at her and tell, oh, MG, this woman is in love with him. I mean, she's just staring in his face like the whole time. And I told her, I said, well, why are y'all here? I mean, you're in love with him. I don't understand. And she says, well, don't tell him that. I'm like, well, he knows. And, I talked to him. I said, well, you don't know what has happened. You're right. I don't know what's happened. But if you can work it out, please do so. I know there are certain deal breakers that Nick and I have, said would be deal breakers from the beginning. And so, it's unfortunate, but if those things were to happen, because things can happen, if those things were to happen, we would have to, split up as well. And we understand that. So we try to make sure that we safeguard our marriage and safeguard our relationship, so that doesn't have to be our reality. And so, I've had other couples to come in, the guy's staring at the girl the whole time. And one time there was a couple, they seem, if they come in together, we only allowed 3 couples to come in together. But the guy was sitting there and they were sharing a bag of chips, and a chip fell on her lap and he ate the chip. I'm like, oh my God, y'all go home and quit playing this game. Get out of here. Stop wasting my time. You guys are still together. You're still in love. Why are you in the divorce class? Why are you doing this? And that's why it's so important that, people learn tools and you understand, how can I stay with this person? Because I am the same person. And when I go with someone else, I am still going to possibly have the same difficulties that I have now. Had a situation not long ago where, because things get messy. I had a situation where the wife came and repossessed the husband's truck while he was in class. I'm like, wow, things just get messy. I've had a situation where there was a restraining order against, the couple, the husband or the soon-to-be ex, and they both showed up in class together, and the young lady was ready to call JSO. She was ready to call the police to say, hey, he needs to leave. And so unfortunately, we had to get him to, leave the class. Unfortunately, things get messy and things happen. And gosh, it hurts me when I see couples having to go through difficulties, and that's why we do what we do. But, again, it is a necessary evil sometimes. It's necessary for couples to maybe split up and regroup and come back together later, or sometimes things just happen and couples cannot stay together, and it's healthier for everybody involved if they separate and split up and divorce and move on. So that's just a little bit about that. And I'm sorry if this video is sad and it's not as happy as some of the other ones, but again, sometimes it has to happen, and we want to avoid that, though, if at all possible. We would like to avoid, we don't want the divorce rate to be 55%. We want the divorce rate to go down. Divorce is declining, but so is marriage. A lot of people aren't getting married. They're having children without the confines of marriage. And that's just as messy as well, too, when you have children involved, because the law still has to get involved. So that's enough about my job and my situation and what I see a lot of times and how it bugs me. So put in the comment section, how people can stay together. How helpful is it for individuals to do the work? I think it's important for individuals to do the work prior to and build a strong foundation. That way they will want to stay together. So that's it. It's Adinah Johnson. Bye.